あ、いらっしゃいませ。渡美さんでいいんですかね。いらっしゃいませ、どうも。今日はね、どうしようかなと思うんですけど、あんまり用意してなかったんで。すいません。ルーズベルトゲームを見てて、用意してません。とですね、今日、あ、オットさんいらっしゃいませ、どうも。ちょっとカンコレ消そうかな。あ、帰還した。私も見てました。いやー、暑かったですね。リフレクラスターは結構見てたみたいですけども、ドケンジアンは見てなかったんですかね。古き良き日本みたいな。串焼き師がなんか、
うちにはテレビがないよ、タックシ。
ビデオがなければ、ビデオがあるじゃない。あ、秋さんいらっしゃいませ。すいません。ルーズベルトゲームを見ていまして。頑張った。やられたらやり返す10倍返しだって、それは違う番組か。よいしょ。ちょっと遠征出しちゃいます。今日はですね、何しようかなと思ったんですけど、あ、そっかそっか。取られたら取り返すのがルーズベルトゲームか。7対8でしたっけ、一番面白い試合っていうのが。ですね、まあ、何をしようかなとも思ったんですけども、まあ、昼間、そうですね、これ見てわかるかな、私がカール・セーガン先生のこれをね、本当に大復活、日本も大復活するといいですよね。あ、こっちじゃない、こっち、これですね。無関心や不注意や無能や懐疑主義への不安から子供たちを科学から遠ざけるとき、我々は子供たちの手から将来生きるために必要な道具を取り上げるのであるというカール・セーガン先生のツイート、ボットさんですけども、見て私がこういう、よいしょ、これでいけるかな。無能や恐怖、至上主義からへの不安から市場主義への不安から人々を経済学から遠ざけるとき、我々は人々の手から将来生きるために必要な道具を取り上げているのであるとリツイートしましたら、菅里さんが、じゃあこれをやりましょうと。デトロイトと、あとフリードマン。ここには出てないですけど、これをやりましょうかということで、まず経済学者のフリードマン先生ですね。まあ、新自由主義の教祖と言われている方ですね。この人のお話をちょっと見てみようかということなんですけども、ちょっと。フリードマンいい人ですよ。すごくいいお話ですよ。優しいですよね。なんか、田中先生に通じるような優しさは。
超エリート的サバ大先生、フリードマンは名前の通り新自由主義。
フリーですからね。フリーとマンですからね。自由な男。なんでこんなに嫌われるのかなっていうのは、多分ソ連共産党が新自由主義的政策によって倒されたっていう側面があるから、左翼系の方々は憎くて憎くてしょうがないっていう面があるんじゃないかなっていう気はしますけどね。ですね、これは中国返還前の香港のお話ですね。それを通じて、
フリードマンは悪い人？
フリードマンは悪い人じゃないですよ。うん。あれ？
それなんてやつ？チャンネル桜、新自由主義なフリードマンではデフレになる。
うん、よくわかんないですよね。じゃあ、新自由主義的なフリードマン先生が、大変、褒めてる、香港っていう地区は、まあ、1990年代ですけども、 題名も出しましょうかね。今日もゆるゆるとやります。後で URL も出しますね。よいしょ。これですね。よいしょ。フリートゥーチョイス。1991から2 with Japanese Submit。ああ、はいはいはい。わかりました。じゃあ、動画流してる間に、お名前は、あれかな、あれですかね。動画流してる間にちょっと確認してきます。
That's why I came here to the South China Sea.
おお。
It's a place where there's an almost laboratory experiment in what happens when government is limited to its proper function and leaves people free to pursue their own objectives. Hong Kong, a place with hardly any natural resources. About the only one you can name is a great harbor. Yet the absence of natural resources hasn't prevented rapid economic development. Ships from all nations come here to trade because there are no duties, no tariffs on imports or exports. The power of the free market has enabled the industrious people of Hong Kong to transform what was once barren rock into one of the most thriving and successful places in Asia. Like America a century ago, Hong Kong in the past few decades has been a haven for people who sought the freedom to make the most of their own abilities. Many of them are refugees from countries that don't allow the economic and political freedom that's taken for granted in Hong Kong. Despite rapid population growth, despite the lack of natural resources, the standard of living is one of the highest in all of Asia. People work hard, but Hong Kong's success is not based on the exploitation of workers. Wages in Hong Kong have gone up fourfold since the war, and that's after allowing for inflation. The workers are free to work what hours they choose, free to move to other jobs if they wish. The market gives them that choice. You can be sure that somebody somewhere is willing to pay for these cheap plastic toys. Otherwise, they simply wouldn't be made. Competition from places like South Korea and Taiwan has made cheap products less profitable. So Hong Kong businessmen have been adapting. They've been developing more sophisticated products and new technology that can match anything in the West or East. And their employees have been developing new skills. It's the ordinary people of Hong Kong who benefit from all this effort and enterprise.
This thriving, bustling, dynamic city has been made possible by the free market. Indeed, the freest market in the world. The free market enables people to go into any industry they want, to trade with whomever they want, to buy in the cheapest market around the world, to sell in the dearest market around the world. But, most important of all, if they fail, they bear the cost. If they succeed, they get the benefit. And it's that atmosphere of incentive that has induced them to work, to adjust, to save, to produce a miracle.
This miracle hasn't been achieved by government action, by someone sitting in one of those tall buildings telling people what to do. It's been achieved by allowing the market to work. Walk down any street in Hong Kong and you'll see the impersonal forces of the market in operation. Mr. Chung makes metal containers. Nobody's ordered him to. He does it because he's found that he can do better for himself that way than by making anything else. But if demand for metal containers went down, or somebody found a way of making them cheaper, Mr. Chung would soon get that message. A few doors away, Mr. Yu's firm has been making traditional Cantonese wedding gowns for 42 years. But the demand for these elaborate garments is falling. The firm has already gotten that message and is now looking for another product. The market tells producers not only what to produce, but how best to produce it through another set of prices: the cost of materials, the wages of labor, and so on. For example, if these workers could earn more doing something else, Mr. Ho would soon find a way to mechanize his picture frame production. Inside this Chinese medicine shop, a market transaction's going on. The customer's confidence that this painful-looking ordeal will help him doesn't rest on any official certification of the bone doctor's qualifications. It comes from experience, his own or his friends. In his turn, the doctor treats him not because he's been ordered to, but because he gets paid. The transaction is voluntary, so both parties must expect to benefit, or it will not take place. Believe it or not, this backyard is the entrance to a factory. The workers here are some of the best paid in Hong Kong. It's hot, sticky, and extremely noisy. The workers are highly skilled, so they can command high wages. They could induce their employer to improve working conditions by offering to work for less, but they would rather accept the conditions, take the high wages, and spend them as they wish. That's their choice. The best-known statement of the principles of a free market, the kind of free market that operates in Hong Kong, was written on the other side of the world. "200 years ago in Scotland, Adam Smith taught at the University of Glasgow. His brilliant book, The Wealth of Nations, was based on the lectures he gave here. The basic principles underlying the free market, as Adam Smith taught them to his students in this university, are really very simple. Look at this lead pencil. There's not a single person in the world who could make this pencil. Remarkable statement? Not at all. The wood from which it's made, for all I know, comes from a tree that was cut down in the state of Washington. To cut down that tree, it took a saw. To make the saw, it took steel. To make the steel, it took iron ore. This black center, we call it lead, but it's really graphite, compressed graphite. I'm not sure where it comes from, but I think it comes from some mines in South America. This red top up here, the eraser, bit of rubber, probably comes from Malaya, where the rubber tree isn't even native. It was imported from South America by some businessmen with the help of the British government. This brass ferrule, I haven't the slightest idea where it came from, or the yellow paint, or the paint that made the black lines, or the glue that holds it together. Literally thousands of people cooperated to make this pencil. People who don't speak the same language, who practice different religions, who might hate one another if they ever met. When you go down to the store and buy this pencil, you are in effect trading a few minutes of your time for a few seconds of the time of all those thousands of people. What brought them together and induced them to cooperate to make this pencil? There was no commissar sending out orders from some central office. It was a magic of the price system, the impersonal operation of prices that brought them together and got them to cooperate to make this pencil so that you could have it for a trifling sum. That is why The operation of the free market is so essential, not only
ですね。
to promote productive efficiency, but
Yes,
even more